Hello, everyone. It's time for 100 Girlfriends.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss on how to start this because up until I read this chapter, my plan was to start it all somber and kind of like
Mm.
address the election.
Yeah, same here. I was gonna say like it feels like it's been longer than just a week since our last
Yeah. A lot
review
has
ever.
happened. A lot has happened since that last
Yeah.
review. But then I read this chapter and I was like, wow, that was like straight peak, like the most
Yeah.
peak a 100 Girlfriends chapter could
I wanted you
possibly
to
be.
know because we did talk because like our schedule this week is really like busy.
Tight.
So it was either do it now or like we'll wait like 7 days.
Yeah.
And I will admit I was reluctant because it was on such short notice. I was about to jerk it, But Red managed to convince me that viewer retention was more important than the nonstop nut November. So here I am, thank,
Yeah, no.
thank Red for that.
I have a bunch of overtime this week, and he goes to work when I come home from work. So
Yeah,
like literally, it's like film now at like 9 p.m. Like when I get up at 6 a.m.
yeah.
or we just wouldn't have a review this week. So the things we do for you.
Yeah,
So
don't say we
anyway,
didn't do nothing for you
yeah.
guys.
Let me cross the streams here and very quickly address election shit. I
Yeah,
just want to say to everyone, this will always be a safe space for
hmm
LGBTQ plus. I'm sure I'm forgetting some of the letters. I just
and
any
I, they, and yep.
seriously, like it's
Mhm.
gonna be a rough 4 years, maybe longer if he pulls a little cheeky dictatorship. Who knows?
Yeah,
Genuinely, who the fuck knows? But I just want you to know, in these comments, everyone is welcome. And if I
yeah.
see a hint of homophobia, transphobia, misogyny, etc., like I am not a free speech bro from like
Yeah, good lord.
2016 Twitter. Okay,
There was
like
no
I will ban
paradox
you
of intolerance here. We don't tolerate intolerance.
exactly because if you don't wait, hold on, I gotta figure out how to word this. If
If
you
you
tolerate
tolerate intolerance,
intolerance, then no wait. Here's what I'll say.
yes,
I was
like
thinking of
it's all
democracy.
in
Yeah.
a whole intolerant mess.
No, there's one of the political streamers I watch always talks about how like
Hmm
you can't have a democracy where you let people who are anti-democracy run because
Yeah,
then it's like a system that will eat itself, right? Anyway,
sure. Yeah.
viewer
Anyway,
retention,
where are
viewer
we?
retention.
Yeah.
Okay, 100 girlfriends.
So this chat was so on such short notes. I haven't even read the damn red discussion thread for this one yet. Like I literally read it. Like right now it's 7:21 my time. I started reading from at 6:40 and finished at 7:10. So about 30. It took me
That's
about
how
30
you
minutes
know
to
it's
read through it.
pure undiluted Rios thoughts. There's
Yeah,
not a
like
single,
like this first impression Rails thoughts. Yeah.
So here's have I been pronouncing it wrong this whole time?
Oh, well, okay, yeah, I do pronounce like Rayos, but like technically, like I didn't notice at the time, but Rayos is apparently like a Spanish word for like oh shit or like oh damn. It's like an
That's awesome.
exclamation that people make. So the Rayos is how it's be pronounced in like Spanish, but I guess
So you're
for
okay with either, or would you
yeah,
prefer me to say Rayos?
I mean yeah, Rayos is good for like distinguishing it from the Spanish word. Like I don't know if there are like Latino viewers who are here, like why is Red keep saying like
Oh shit.
Rayos?
That's funny. Okay, this chapter actually so peak. Like
Yep,
genuinely, like this is. I mean, if oh my god, like
yeah.
so what to even begin with? Okay, I guess we'll go in sequential order here. So
Yeah, I'll say, like, of course, my girl Rin, she's an honor student. Like, of course, like
yes. So
S tier girl.
I love that so much because he continues to do this really good like world building where like
Hmm
these girls know each other from different classes, right? It's not just this nebulous like infinite pool of girls he's like reaching
Like
out
like
of.
they just came out like they came into existence right when they met him, kind of thing.
Yes,
Like no,
yes.
they've had a life beforehand, and
Exactly.
interactions with each other, even outside of being Rentaro family. Yeah,
And what's
very
also
nice.
funny about that too is that like this continues this like perception of what Ren is, how Ren is perceived through
Hmm
in the world, right? Because like no one other than this group here knows about her weird like psycho tendencies.
Yep.
So like so I'm looking forward to her learning that element of her because as of
Oh my
now
god, yeah.
she still looks at her as like, oh, she's like this perfect honor student. And like again, I want to bring this up too, like being tired all the time, it doesn't just affect your health, but it affects like your mental health too. And
hmm
like, she's I know that when I feel really tired all the time, I get those dark fucking bags under my eyes, and those make me feel so ugly. So like I'm imagining like she looks in the mirror like every day and sees these dark eyes, and now she's here with these like 30 other girls, and she's like, wow,
these beauts and these pretties.
Like, yeah, and we'll get to that. We need to talk about the distinction.
Damn, yeah, I got it.
But like before that though, like Rentarou is like the pimpiest of all pimps right now. I mean, she's dating this guy who like how fucking. And I'm glad they're going into this because it's got to be like really daunting. Like, oh my god, like he's got all these girls. I mean, clearly he must be like the man among men. The best boyfriend of all time, and she probably feels like really unattractive compared to these people, so I really do like that that's addressed, you know, with her self-confidence. But again, she's so tired that just like a simple moment to close her eyes and like nervousness,
I mean, like good lord, how tired you gotta be? The adrenaline rush of self-conscious anxiety isn't enough to keep you awake. Like,
do not let this girl drive.
Well, you know, she would like she starts sleep driving and somehow not crash anything, even though her eyes are closed. Like
she'd become like fucking a better driver while she's asleep.
Oh my lord!
Oh my god! I'm gonna write a chapter of this series right now. This will mark my fucking words. Yeah. This will be a future chapter. She's gonna take her driver's test and she's gonna like fail it 3 times in a row, and then finally Rentarous gonna be like, "Why don't you
like she's like get good night's sleep every time before like she's gonna fail because of that."
And he's like, "No, how about you?" Rentarous just like, "How about you stay up and make some shoes the night before? Maybe calm your nerves."
Yeah. And then he'll tell her it's because, you know, that's something you're really good at. It lets you calm down and relax. Exactly, because he's trying to make her so tired that she falls asleep while he's driving. I can just imagine like the driving instructor like wake the like he's freaking the fuck out because he fell asleep in the but he's surprised to find that he's even better. He's like, wow, you didn't make any mistakes, like you even like did things I didn't tell you to do. And like
that's exactly what I'm imagining. Like she's doing like the perfect like fucking like you know like parallel park 10-point turn. Fucking she's like swerving between every fucking cone perfectly.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
She gets out of the car, helps an old lady cross the street, gets back into the car.
It's like normally I'd take points off it, but I was so impressed that I had to have points. Like, you know,
the legality is in question. I mean, like I don't know what she's like. You know how like you'll write like it'll say on your driver's license like, oh, they need corrective lenses, so like you need to have glasses on to legally drive. With her, it'll be like she legally needs to be asleep to drive.
Yeah, she needs like a specific amount of like tryptophan in her system or something to keep her knocked out.
We're gonna have to breathalyze you. I don't know. You're not sleepy enough.
Oh my lord,
that's insane. Okay, so
Speaking of sleep, I'm with Nana here. I'm being the opposite of sleep. Like for me, one of the most annoying parts about being a human is having to sleep. Like that's literally like 6 to 8 hours just down the drain. Like if I didn't have to sleep, or if I could do shit while I was asleep, especially things I don't want to do, that'd be like match made in heaven.
One of my favorite pieces of media that addresses that, there's a Doctor Who episode called Sleep No More, I think. And the idea is that this inventor invents this machine that you like go into it and you just lay down for like 10 minutes and it gives you like the full 8 hours of sleep. But here's what the problem is. Capitalists would ruin it.
Oh god.
Because essentially what happens in that episode is workplaces start expecting you to work like 12 hours a day. You know, like, you don't even need to sleep. You know what I mean? You see where this is going?
Oh god.
Yeah, you know that would happen.
Capitalism ruins everything.
Literally. They'd be like, oh.
So, I mean, what it means is I need to have access to, but no one else can.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Me and you could share it. Think about all the content. All right.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
So let's, we got Nano excited about the efficiency, the fairy tale-ness, the yada yada. So let's discuss pretties versus buttes.
Yeah, that was something that took me like,
that was like 20 minutes of your half-hour read time.
Yeah. I need you guys to know I spent like 5 minutes searching up these terms because the RAWs that I normally use for 100 College, they hadn't updated his chapters. I had to go find some other RAWs. Wow. And then once I did, I saw that I typed in the word they were using, which is like for the beauty, they use like beauty hole or something like that. I looked it up, but then I couldn't find any like reference to most references I found were like to like Twitter and forum discussions of this chapter. So as far as I can tell, that this
it's
is
a
just,
made
like,
up slang word, probably.
Yeah.
Well, here's how I interpreted it, right? Because and this is a fascinating difference between how you and I read, right? Like you very Nano like you want the 100% correct answer. I'm just like, okay, through context, I'm going to assume it means this. I don't know for sure. Yeah, so, no, but that's good. I like that we have those differing angles to attack this at. You know what I mean? The fact that you do all that research makes our videos so much better. Like, seriously, I appreciate it. But here's how I interpreted it, right? To me, it's like the difference between cute and hot. Or cute and sexy, right? So, like, there are girls that are more cute, and I think typically, you know, it would be, like, skinny, more petite, more kind of childlike looking, you know, which is strange, though, because you have, like, May, who's got big boobs.
Yeah, I was thinking, because I did want, because I knew we would discuss this during the things. I didn't put too much thought into it, but, like, how are they delineated between? Because I mean, there's like on the pretties, you got Yamame, you got Usami, you got they both big boobs, like they're not really like there's Tama.
Like, you know, as an Uto fan, I would classify her more on as a pretty than a beauty. Yeah. You know, like it's just a vibe. You know, like a beauty would be.
Well, granted, Nemu is asleep, so maybe she's not. Maybe she's not like.
It might not. Even, we might just be looking so too deep into this, and it might just be that she's just like holding up these signs sequentially. You know what I mean? And like different girls are reacting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say this though, for Bleach fans out there, the way I would just delineate pretties and beauts, like, beauts would be like Rangiku and pretties would be Rukia. You know what I mean? Like, those are the vibes. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't really correlate with what we're seeing here.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, like, even in Japanese, it said, like, it was pretty, it was basically Japanese for pretty, and then there was the beauty-ho thing I said. So, like, even in Japanese, you can't get any, like, you know, like connotations on which ones they mean, but whatever.
Well, you even have you even have, and this kind of doubled up on like my interpretation of this. Like you even have oh geez, my name training is failing me. It's the newest girl other than her, the fucking senpai girl. Like what's her name again?
Her first syllable is like
Saki.
Like, yep, there we go.
Okay, so we have Saki.
And if you any new viewers who want to see how what we're talking about, we had Red and I Red basically went through a training arc on our stream
to learn every name.
Yeah, every 100 girlfriend name. We use fucking like Anki flashcards. You can find it on our live tab, whatever. But
excellent plug, Rayos.
Yeah.
But yeah, you even have Saki being like, well, I feel like I should have been under the beautiful category. So even she's interpreting it as like older and younger. You know,
yeah,
right?
like a more mature beauty versus more like cute.
Yeah. So
youthful.
Like, it really doesn't make any sense. Her interpretation. Maybe the joke is because she's asleep.
Yeah, I guess. The machinations of Nemu's mind are an enigma, even to herself. She's unconscious like 50% of the time.
I do love that she introduces herself as, I love sleeping. Girl, that is not your only fucking character trait. Tell them about the shoes.
Yeah, really. Yeah, the cobbler thing, your family trade, you know, like. Yeah, I guess that's part of her self-concept. Sleeping. He's someone who sleeps. You know,
she's flanderizing herself.
Oh my lord, self-flanderization. We got fucking reverse flanderization. Now we got self-flanderization.
You get every type of flanderization in this series,
except for the original type.
Except for the bad type.
Yeah.
Please.
I was like, it's kind of crazy because Nemu must have like the most insane imbalance between what people know about her versus what she knows about them, because like she doesn't even remember. Well, I mean, I guess she dreamed it, but she doesn't even remember introducing herself to these people. But they remember her introducing herself to them. So like, what must that feel like for her to have these like this like almost separate personality doing all this shit for her, and then he just wakes up and is like, wait, what? I thought that was a dream.
Yeah, seemingly she doesn't even know that it's real, and I need to see like the moment where that clicks with her. When I was reading this part, it reminded me of. Have I ever told you about the big lung surgery I had to have in like 2019?
Oh no, it was my first time hearing about.
Oh wow, yeah. So it was stupid. So at one of the Comic-Cons I went to, I had what I later realized to just be like a panic attack, but I didn't know what a panic attack was at that moment. So I was really struggling to breathe, and I got really dizzy. I thought that was it was like a medical thing. So I went to like get it checked out. They did like x-rays, and completely unrelated to the hard of breathing thing, they found like a weird little spot in my lung on the x-ray. And they were like, hey, we should probably check this out. So they checked out everything, and they couldn't rule out cancer. They were like, it'd be weird if it was cancer. You're very young, but we can't rule it out. So we want to go in there and do a biopsy. So they had to go into my lung, cut it open, make sure it wasn't cancer. Turned out it was a fungus, some kind of fucking fungus growing in my lung. So that's.
I mean, I guess it's a good thing you mistook your anxiety for something. You say, because I mean, it was something that could have been serious, but.
Yeah, so the fungus, it had a bunch of calcium around it, which usually means that the body had kind of dealt with it. But so like at the end of the day, I probably didn't. It was a surgery that definitely didn't need to happen. But hey, good to know I had lung cancer. I guess that was back in 2019. But anyway, I remember though, recovering from that was really hard because the area of the lung it was at an area where they couldn't go down my throat or anything. They had to like pry my ribs apart to get to my lung.
Damn.
So they told me like the recovery for this is going to be intense. It's a very painful surgery. So for like a month and a half, I had the most terrible pain in my side, and the worst part of it is, you know how like when you finally like go to sleep, like you kind of switch to like auto breathing, and then when you switch to auto breathing, you start doing those deep breaths for sleep. The problem is, the pain I was having, if I breathed in too deeply, I would get this sharp, horrible pain. So basically imagine every time you're about to fall asleep, you get like stabbed.
Yeah.
And so I was fucking delirious. I was they kept me in the hospital for a week. And I remember dreaming, I would fall asleep and I would dream about being in the hospital, trying to get to sleep. So I literally lost track of what was reality and what wasn't. And I got to the point that the only time in my life I've ever had like semi-lucid dreams was in that moment. Because I remember specifically the way I would check to see if I was awake or not was I would look at the whiteboard and see if I could read the words or not. Because, you know, like if it's like gobbledygook or like nothing, I was a dream. It was so weird. But yeah, so that's kind of all that to say. It's played off as a gag, but I mean, this is some real One Piece shit where like the character gag
is this classic 100 Girlfriends, like things that are gags on first appearance. Like if you think about it for like more than a second, you're like, well, that's kind of rough, you know.
This is rougher than a lot of them, I think. Yeah, like, this one's true. Like, I think if you really wanted to spin it, like write it in a serious manner, she like to not know what's reality and this is no way to live life. She needs to be like helped or like at least come to this ability to
make her aware of what's happening.
Like, and I hope that they do, you know, at some point. I'm sure they will. But where are we at now? Okay, so Kusari fucks up again.
I got this drug. I'm sort of like, oh my god, she's got like the fucking like eternal sleep status effect from Shaz the Urge Tree. Like it's like they're gonna be like she's gonna kill everyone.
Well, what it turns out to be is nightmare juice.
Yeah,
and I love this to see everyone have little nightmares. And this is when this chapter goes from peak to 10 out of 10 super peak.
I know. Like, we got some crazy reactions. Like Rin dreamed of violence so violent, even she wasn't down for it. Iku dreamed of pain so painful, even she wasn't down for it. Like, what the?
I want to make sure that you interpreted it the same way that I interpreted this, okay? They're all dreaming that Rentarou died.
Well, yes.
That is so it's not just a random violence or a random pain. Iku, I like how, I mean, this is genuinely like, you know, I'll tell you something about myself. Every time I like a piece of media, I always have an urge to write like a dark, edgy, sad version, like sad fanfic. Yeah. So like Gravity Falls, I want to write like a fanfic where like Dipper and Mabel are dealing with like the fucking trauma, like the mental trauma of fighting like a Cthulhu demon, you know, so like this is like some of the darkest we've seen because again we get to see this idea of
I know it was like
good.
Oh yeah. I mean to see Uto like so miserable. It's like, oh my lord, I've never like I didn't even like I felt bad like, and I mean every single one of them had, you know, different levels. But I mean, Uto definitely was one to say. I mean, like, you know, she's normally so composed, except when she gets spooked. But
that's one of the reasons. One of them, the appeals or the draws to Uto that I have is that, like, you know, when someone has this veneer that they put on, and when it breaks, there's something so attractive about that. You know, like this idea that like only you see this side of her. That was the first moment that I kind of saw the the appeal of Uto was when she got her boob groped by Momoji and Rentarou's body, and she was like, but yeah, no, I mean, like you said, we see some like peak character writing here. We see characters get pushed like to places they've never been pushed before. Like you said, Iku, the pain of losing Rentarou. And for her to be like, this is too much. Yeah. This is pain that I would never want. And then, like you said, the violence girl finally being like, oh, there can be violence that makes me sad. And like, my God.
Even Yamame couldn't use her
rigor mortis. Oh no, you're
use her
Yamame.
Yeah, she couldn't even use her like they're a living thing too thing because Rentaro is dead. He's not a living thing anymore when you're dead.
Sorry, yeah, and then I for some reason I mixed up Yamame and Momoji, and then the rigor mortis one killed me, bro.
Yeah. You're no longer soft when you're rigor mortis.
We now canonically know how each one of these girls would cope with Rentarou's death. Momoji would be at the funeral trying to like grope his dead body, and they'd be like, "Ma'am, control yourself."
Oh my God, yeah.
And then see, like, they're all so good. Even ones that at first I thought felt shallow, then I thought about it for a second. So Kumari, what's the foodie girl?
Kurumi, yeah.
Kurumi.
I thought you were saying Kumar-e, like I thought about Ahari or something.
No. Kurumi, at first I read this and I was like, bitch, all you care about is the food, but then I thought about it and I was like, oh wait, she talks about how food tastes better when she's eating it with someone she loves.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't, she's lost
It's like nothing.
Oh my God.
And seeing Tama being like, she hated being a human so much, he was like, I'm going to become a fucking cat, but then to have, the death of Rentaro so bad. He's like, fuck. I don't even want to be. I don't even want to be a vertebrate anymore. I'm just gonna be
let me be a pill bug. I mean,
because even cats have hearts. They do get sad when they lose the people and animals around them too. So it's like even I don't know. It's but it's like it's like don't like I don't know. Like it's tragic. Like don't run away from. Don't destroy yourself just to run away from pain like that, but
no, this would be a pretty intense pain. I mean, they're all so I mean, he's done so much to make their lives so great, and obviously, if Rentarou did pass away, he'd want them to move on. But like, man, they'd have a hard time. There's a couple more I want to talk about. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Because like, is it even possible? Because like, isn't
that's true? They would literally all die. They would die with him.
Die from heartache.
Oh my God. So I mean, I'd be remiss to not mention Hahari over here.
Yeah, he's like. I'm not even wet. I can't be wet at this.
This is the first time.
I mean, he's hard. Everything is hard. I could, if I had no scruples, I could be a necrophiliac, but I can't even entertain.
The poor priest is just fucking desperately trying to keep these women away from his body.
We get to see from Mike. He's like I can't marry only my dear sister. Like he wants to marry Rentarou as well. So
she wants to marry both.
There's something there.
Oh. Yeah. So okay, yeah, I just want to pick back up on Hahari for a second. I mean, the implication here is that and it's probably true. She's never not been wet around him. This is the first time she's been dry in a year. It's a problem.
I mean, that must feel strange. Like the chafing, I guess.
I'm getting real Ben Shapiro energy right now. Do you remember what he said about
Oh my God, yes.
It's a medical problem, Hahari. You can't be wet all that time.
Like I talk to my wife all the time. She's never wet.
She's never wet.
Oh my Lord.
So we also have and then I like how we have like Mei kind of going psycho.
Yeah,
I like that.
She's becoming
reaction.
A craized widow over here.
Yeah, so she would just knit so you'd go into her room like a month after Rentarou's dead, and she's just surrounded with like 100 of her Rentarou dolls, and she's just like, he didn't die, he's right here.
Started learning how to make them move using like thread copy, like I don't know, like thread machinery or something. She becomes like a fucking like yokai making animated knitting shit.
I mean, what we're seeing here is like they're like so attached to him. I'm trying to figure out how to
it's almost a little concerning, but I mean, granted, if it's for Rentarou, that's understandable.
No, I mean, I feel like it would be really tough for me to. It would be at least a month of mourning if anything happened to like Allie. I mean, like when you really love someone, and this is like cartoonishly exaggerated how much they love each other. But yeah, so Iku here. Let's go to Iku real quick because she's still like top 5 for me. So, you know, her being like, this pain is too much. And I like that she can separate between heartache, like emotional pain, and physical pain here. But then
we gotta remember when she was introduced like hundreds of chapters ago, I mean, this obviously isn't as extreme, but you know, when she realized that Rentarou was like dating other people or something, that she was like, she thought that meant that they couldn't be together. Yeah. And that heartache, she liked that heartache though, so she does.
This one's too far.
It's more just a matter of extent rather than kind.
Well, I think again, the way I read Iku is that like she views pain as like an opportunity to strengthen herself. Yeah. So like I think in that moment she would view it as like, okay, you know, it was a foolish dream anyway. You know, me not being able to be with him will just make me a stronger person, and there's more fish in the sea.
But him dying,
it's too much. Yeah. It's like that phrase about like what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. That's not true for everything. Some things will weaken you, weaken your spirit, and the death of a loved one will do that. Yeah. Like the most recent Chainsaw Man chapter, there's a really good conversation between Denji and Asa, and you know, Yoru is in Asa's body. You remember all that, right?
Yeah.
So like Yoru is talking to Denji and being like, yeah, you know, bad shit's happened to me, but I got over all of it because I'm just that awesome. And then Asa like punches herself in the face to like get back control, and then she's talking about like the bad shit that's happened to her. I know you read this part, so you remember the part where she tripped trying to save that cat, and then her mom died from the devil. You know? So she's telling Denji about that. And then Denji's like, well, how did you get over it? And then she's like, I never did. How could I ever get over something like that? Like, so I like, Damn. It's important to remember that, like, some things you won't ever get over. You just have to try to keep moving on. You know what I mean? So I just like this from Iku. Because again, here's your reverse Flanderization. You know, a lesser author would just have her like coming from the heartbreak or something. So
speaking, okay, I'll move past that. Speaking of
no, please don't move past that.
Well, I was gonna say something, then you said that it almost short circuited me. But
okay, go ahead.
Speaking of reverse flanderization, we got a nice little Sue reaction. I'm sure a little Kirby guy would be pissed if we didn't, talk about.
No, I actually did want to talk about Sue's reaction. I did like Sue's reaction. You can go first if you want, but I was not going to ignore Sue. I promise.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Well, I don't really have anything.
I gotta find her. To say, I guess. Yeah, here she is. This is crazy because I have a question about Sue's reaction too. So first, I'll say this. Dude, enough with posing like one. Insane.
I mean, she just interprets everything through numbers, you know, like not even in like a computer way, just as in like the shapes and
one
colors.
Is the number of death for her.
One is the loneliest number indeed, as we learned from that one song.
Dude, I mean, like, she really is like fucking. You've read Mice and Men, like everyone has, right? I can't remember which character is the mentally ill one. I'm trying to say it in like a not. I don't want to just say which one was the retard, but I guess I just did.
Oh my lord!
Was it Lenny? I don't remember what his name
Lenny.
was.
I'm pretty sure Lenny. Isn't there like a quote?
I can say this as a certified retard. Okay.
Yeah. Lenny. Yep.
Okay, but yes, she.
What do you think? She's a number Lenny?
I'm gonna be real. She's real Lenny coded because she's to be like I'm trying to. I don't. It's been a bajillion years since I've read that book, but like I feel like there had to have been a moment where like because I know he like kills that woman. But I don't think he understands that she's dead. I'm sure, if I remember correctly, like that what he did. So like I'm sure he probably said like, "Oh, why isn't she moving? Is she sleepy?" You know, like that's the vibe she's giving off, that she can't even understand death.
Well, okay, I think he can understand. It's more like he's in denial rather than lack of comprehension. No, I was surprised how talkative. Like he's like the most talkative. He's basically sleep talking over here. But yeah.
So I had a question. I'm glad you brought up, Sue being talkative, because like, what does she mean by this part where she says, "Akko, do that thing you do"? I have an interpretation, but I want to make sure.
Akko does. That pain go away thing he does, where yeah, that's what he's talking about. Classic Wanna Girlfriend. Make a joke that when you think about it for like more than 10 seconds, you're like, oh.
So yeah, because like I didn't remember the exact pain go away thing, but I did remember that Akko has like made her feel better a lot in the past. So I figured it was something like that, but oh my god, that's wholesome and sad. Keep singing that funny song of yours, Priest.
Yeah, I considered looking that up, but I was like,
I mean, I'm sure there's just some kind of song that they sing at funerals, right?
Yeah, I figured it wasn't that big a deal. I was only halfway through the chapter by that point, so I was like, yeah, better speed up.
And then, of course, just continuing on that dark path. Okay, my training. It's the names are leaving me. Hold on, the drunk ethics teacher. Hold on. Give me the first letter.
M. Or like Mo.
Oh God, I feel like I struggle with this one even on the stream.
Yeah, you did.
Fuck.
You kept confusing it with the Grope girlfriend or similar syllables.
I don't know. This one's gone from my head. What's her name?
Momoha.
Fuck that shit.
Was it on the tip of your tongue?
No, not at all.
Oh.
Yeah, no. That she does not look like.
It was on the back of your tongue.
She doesn't feel like a Momoha at all. Momoji feels like a Momoji. Momoha does not feel like a Momoha, and I will not be elaborating. So her again, it's like played off as like kind of funny if you want to read it in that way, but I mean, like literally her coping mechanism here is just to. She literally says, "I'm just gonna drink until I forget."
Yeah,
like you can read this chapter and like extrapolate, imagining how they would like this dark fanfic where like Rentarou dies, and we have canonical ways that they would all cope now. I love it.
Yep. I love it. Okay, on page 13, do they need to specify this is water, not booze? Like,
I think
like,
it's
damn,
important.
Japanese censors, like it's like you really think sleepwalking Nemu found a bucket of alcohol?
I mean, I'll be real. I didn't even consider it from the censorship angle because she's an adult, so she can drink. I literally just thought it was because she literally said, "I want to drink," and then for a character to come and pour something on her head, some idiot might think, "Oh, she's drinking."
Can you imagine being waterboarded with alcohol? Like, it's bad enough with water, but like, fuck.
I like that she's like.
About to kill her. But, anyway,
this drug is powerful, man. They are out. Please continue.
It's not even like anesthetics. Like are there nightmare inducing drugs? Like, I mean, I guess there probably are like side effects
it's
like that.
Kusery.
Where like that's like.
Are there hair tentacle drugs?
You're right. I forgot what manga we were reading for a second there.
Not to shut down conversation. We can compare to real life shit if we want to. I mean, I know for a fact there are medicines that have like side effects that can.
Well, definitely, yeah.
I would assume that she basically just made like something that like knocks your ass out, but then like there's chemicals in there that also accidentally fucks with your brain chemicals and induces nightmares. If we're trying to be realistic about this.
Yeah, well, I mean, we gotta be realistic. I'm like, there's no brain chemical for like nightmares, but whatever.
Well,
where were we again?
I know there's something that can like make it more likely for you to dream, right?
Yeah, but like I'm pretty sure there's no little difference between nightmares and regular dreams.
It would depend on what mood you're in going into it. Yeah,
possibly. Man, I don't know.
Well, I'll look into this. Yeah, I'm sorry to come back to it, but I am a perv, and that's what we're here for. Hahari again. I forgot to mention this earlier, but like her arm is down there. She's definitely like feeling. She's
trying. She's like, it's bone dry. I'm looking and I'm feeling it. Nothing is happening. I can't.
In there, but she can't get in there because it's too dry. She's like, this is fucked up.
She's trying to drown out the pain with like fantasies, but it's not working.
She would be someone who would drown out the pain through excessive masturbation.
Yeah. Just like Momoha drowns out the pain through excessive alcohol.
Exactly. I will name no names, but I did know a woman in the past who told me, who had like an actual genuine masturbation addiction, like actual to the point where she like went to therapy for it. It was like actually like harming her life. And she told me that like at one point she masturbated so hard that her clit started to bleed.
Damn.
Yeah, and like I was like, so like. You can go places with that if you really want to. I've read fanfics that actually like delve into masturbation addiction, and it's not just done from like a sexy point of view, but it actually like dives into on some fucking what's that famous hentai that's like also sad that people always mention?
Oh, like metamorphosis.
Yes, like on some metamorphosis shit. I read this really good one that was like masturbation addiction, and it had parts that were hot, but it also delved into like the chronic aspect of it. I love that shit. I love it.
And I also remember Project Melly spoke about like the famous adult VTuber star talked about. I don't think he got as bad as what you were describing, but Yeah, she did have some. She had to take medication to lower her libido, so she wouldn't be like yoinking it
I
so
could
much.
get
Or
that
whatever.
vibe from her because I've watched plenty of her streams, and she's gone for. I've seen her go for like 3 hours straight before on those streams.
Damn. Well,
Oh,
these ladies don't know how good they got in terms of their uh, in terms of their biology. Now,
genuinely,
obviously,
I don't know. I don't like. I feel like I genuinely wonder if like their brains are wired differently in terms of like wanting to do it over and over again. Because like I will see how good. It's like so obvious how good of an orgasm like Allie is having, right? I mean, like she hates it when I mention.
I mean,
this,
it's
but
definitely different.
well, let me mention something real quick.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like I thought that it was over exaggeration in like hentai when girls were like drooling when they come, but I've made her like like one time she was like stomach over on my chest, and I'm like my hand is like between her
Yep,
legs,
yep.
fingering her like that, and like after she came and we both kind of like came to our senses. There was like not a puddle, but like a decent amount of drool on my chest,
Yeah.
and she like snaps back to her like reality, and she's just like so embarrassed, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no girl, you don't understand, that's the hottest shit in the fucking world. I just made you drool. I made you forget
Yeah.
you were like in the corporeal realm because you came so hard. Are you kidding me? That's the best thing ever. And the fact that like they come that hard and it's clearly that good, and it's definitely like way better than our orgasms, but they're not like addicted like I am. It's fascinating to me. Like
I mean, I think probably the only reason they aren't is just because of social pressure making it so a lot of women go into like their 30s like I've never masturbated at all, or I've
Insane.
never orgasmed at all. Like, can you imagine a world where there was more of like sex positive? It'd be fucking like it'd be dildos out the wazoo and type shit. It'd be like. But anyway, yeah. Speaking of pervert stuff, I was like,
I would be. You couldn't even. I would. My life would be over if I could come as many times as a woman. You wouldn't even be catching me going to work.
oh my lord! Like, yeah, so I have to call in sick today. I'm yoinking it. I'm too
I'm
horny.
on orgasm number 10, and I'm going
Yeah.
for at least 20 today.
Yeah, but speaking of pervy stuff, like Nemu was kind of thick, ain't she? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
when I saw that first panel of her waking up, I'm like, damn, girl. And then when she's picking up Rin and Matsuri, like, bruh, look, I mean, those pants are they a little tight on you? Like,
I'm glad you. So, by the way, I just want you to know, as you're mentioning this, I'm like zooming into her ass.
Yeah.
There's a visual element to the video. Insane. Yeah, no, I'll be honest. I had to like trail my eye down and to see like the ruffles at her ankles. I was like, is she pantsless right now?
oh my lord!
I know
yeah.
I often sleep pantsless. I know some women have to be out there doing that too.
Definitely, yep.
Nudist girlfriend.
Oh my, okay, I would not mind. I would not mind that one bit.
Put it into the zeitgeist. Do you understand? It would be okay. Have you seen any Undead Unluck, or at least like seen like pictures
Oh yeah,
or clips?
yeah. I saw like the first couple chapters when it was airing.
I imagine that if you had a nudist girlfriend, it would be like it would be the same way that they had to kind of like peer pressure Kusuri into not wearing a diaper. Like she would
Oh
want
my
to be,
God, yeah.
she'd want to be nude all the time, but they'd be like, okay, at least like when we're in public, you have to wear something. And she'd be like, okay. So she'd be wearing this like loose fitting, like shitty. She'd go into like a thrift store and find like a fucking like hoodie or something, and so she'd have like
Yeah.
a hoodie on with like nothing underneath, like no bra, just like a hoodie on. And like at any moment, she would be like, if she got a little excited, she'd be like, wow, and like throw it off, and there'd have to be like a censor bar over her.
Yeah,
love
she'd be the like the third member of the Momo Hawkery like horny group. Like become the horny triad over there. It'd be like
Excellent. And they'd have
it'd be
to.
even funny. Like it'd be funny. Like it'd be funny if she wasn't even like horny about it. She's like, I
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
being nude. 'Cause it's like the freeing feeling. I don't like nudity has nothing to do with sex. So why are you two being all weird about it?
That's actually that's kind of more how I interpret it, or how I thought about it. Yeah, like it'd be like an art form to her, like a way of life. Like, no, dude, this is just the way she'd be the type to be like, yo, clothing is like the original sin, man. Like,
Yeah, she'd actually be more friends with Mimimi and Yamame. Like Yamame's like it's naturally naked, and Mimimi is like the beauty of the human body can't be constrained by clothing. So I guess we're getting now we're getting actually fan girlfriend territory. But yeah,
Mara would be like, this is some OG fairy tale stuff. This is like Brothers Grimm stuff.
some original sin like biblical.
Yeah, the oldest fairy tale, the Bible.
You'd be like this girlfriend has never eaten from the apple of knowledge of good and evil. on some shit.
Wait, actually, that's such a fire line. That's fire
really.
as fuck. You cooked there. That is absolutely what she would say. She'd be like,
Again,
"Seems we had someone here.
Brain.
Seems we had someone here who has who missed the apple or didn't get that memo." That's so good.
Speaking of writers, like I love how mean these guys are to Nakamura. Like when Rentarou was like when he's going through his depression nightmare, he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you, Nakamura." But then he's like, "Nozawa though, he has to stay, right?" So somebody's make like a meme like of that what is he? What is his name? The famous chef who's always angry. And you've seen the meme where it's like he's like, oh dear to the one person, and he's like, you fucking donkey to the other person. I can't remember his name.
Yes. Isn't it like a Gordon Ramsay one or something?
Yes, Gordon Ramsay. Yes, you need to have that one, but for Nakamura Nozawa.
Well, I mean, writers love being self-deprecating. That's clearly, and he loves to knob slob his artists for good reason, obviously. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I do wonder if sometimes. Do you ever have like stupid little paranoid background thoughts that are ridiculous, but like you have them anyway?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Like, oh, did I turn the stove off or whatever? I wonder in if his darkest moments, Nakamura is like, what if Rentarou does kill me? Like, what if I've created?
That's not what I was thinking. That's not what I was expecting. But that does seem reasonable. Yes, now you bring it up.
What if I've made such a powerful force?
I was like, what if I made like a plot hole as if it doesn't matter in the story? Like, what if I didn't do a good enough job showing the beauty of a girlfriend? But no, like, what if Rentarou fucking killed me because I don't? Oh my god.
Okay, so, and then again, just to top off this 10 out of 10 chapter, I was dying this whole fucking chapter. For the solution to line up every girl and just have Rentarou smooch all of them by dragging his fucking, like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, really?
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna be bruised over here.
Oh,
like.
No doubt.
But for love, it's for love, so it's fine.
Well, I mean, he had to sleep. It's a Sleeping Beauty situation, isn't it? Like, true love's kiss is waking them up. It's beautiful.
It seems like after that, they just had a good night's sleep afterwards, more like. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, you're right. True Love's Kiss just got rid of the nightmare. It didn't even wait. Oh, wow. Huh.
But I mean, I gotta admit, this full page spread of all 30 girlfriends, like, it's so neat and beautifully symmetrical,
Death the Kid would love it.
Yeah, really. It's gonna be a while before we get to see another shot like this. It has this nicely organized, because once the next girlfriend round is not gonna, it's gonna be like 30.
There's too many girls now.
Yeah.
We got a nice a wild honk schnoo down there, and I was really happy.
Oh my god, yeah. That's Tahari. It's kind of hard to tell who. I mean, I guess.
I interpret it as it's just a sea of various snoring noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Mimi doing the.
Oh, you know what?
Mimi.
I'm gonna de-interpret that because clearly Mimi is doing the Mimi. So I think you're right.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, some girls just don't snore. So not everyone snores.
Honk Schnoo could literally be,
or not
all
everyone
four
makes
of
noise.
them. Honk Schnoo could be Tama, Kiki, Momoha, and Hahari. I did it. Names. Woohoo.
Well, I mean, I think like the
dot goes to them.
What like the what do you call it? Like the parsimonious interpretation is that whichever if you split in like quadrants of like an upper right, left right, bottom right, then like the one in the upper left from our perspective that's the speaker, like a Karene's doing the snur. It's probably that snur is probably Karene's. Apparently Nano was doing an afu, like though it's a bit weird. Though granted, that asu you would think that would go for Desu, but if based on that theory I just mentioned, it would go to Meme. So maybe there is no. Maybe it's just one of those situations where models can't capture reality.
Meanwhile, Tuesday is like, you guys are fucking overthinking this. We had to erase the Japanese and then put it back on.
I gotta mention, like in the previous stream we had, he said or alluded to the fact he was just the editor of the thing. But I looked at the fucking first the cover page. I think this guy is doing the proofreading. He's helping with the redrawing and the typesetting. Like, bruh, you're being too humble over here.
The best artists are always humble.
Now, okay, we should I guess we should mention the other people. Like the person in the Raws is Zero K. The person doing like the translations is Alpha TM and helping Tuesday,
But
Doobie's
they're
wrong,
not in
it's
our
Lambo.
comments now, are they? Where are you guys at?
Yeah. You get out there. Like
I want the
like,
whole
you can put this on
goddamn
your
team.
resume. You can put this on your fucking resume, and people would be like professional. Would be like they'd be like, well, you on the 100 Girlfriend fan translation team? Like we would be honored to hire you.
Absolutely, yes. I won't fucking stop until Nakamura himself comments on one of our reviews. Okay, I will be dead in the ground before that happens. Or other way
the
around.
longer, the longer it goes on, I guess the more likely or the better chance there is that happening. You know,
Bro,
if we get to
that'd be wild.
if we get to like 1 million subscribers, we might just be noticed. And if you want to help us get to that milestone, consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Yeah.
Don't sleep on this channel. Subscribe.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to wake up to find that you had a nightmare about not subscribing.
Yeah. That's the worst nightmare you could have.
Oh no, I missed the weekly drop. Why did that happen? Because I didn't subscribe? What a fool I've been.
Notifications on? Instead, have sweet dreams of like a decade plus of 100 Girlfriends discussion episodes. Channel, whatever.
If everything goes correctly, Rios and I will be 40 and still discussing this in the good timeline. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's just a great chapter overall. I mean, like a straight 10 out of 10. Excellent chapter. I think I had one last thing to say, and then I might have forgotten it. Oh yeah, I'll say this real quick. This kind of, to me, this chapter feels like it establishes her as like Queen of the Night, and what I mean by that is like in One Piece when Jinbei joined the crew, my head instantly went to, okay, now we have a guy whose like official job on the crew it is to save any devil fruit user from drowning because he's a fishman. He is a fishman. He's like amazing at swimming. So like it used to kind of be anyone. Like Sanji would save Luffy sometimes, Zoro would save Luffy sometimes. Now it's always Jinbei because he's a fishman. So like what I'm seeing going forward is anytime if there's ever some kind of sleep event, she's like the guardian spirit.
Common sleep event. Sleep event. Like not even like a sleep issue or like it's just a sleep event. I love that.
It's like a fucking
like, they come across like the god of sleep or something like they did with the god of infinity.
Yo, that'd be insane. Hypnos fucking rocks up. Oh
yeah.
Man. No, but I mean like in a weird, beautiful, metaphorical way, she has kind of become the elves that she reveres, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Think about that. She was the elves for these girls. She was like a little fucking guardian angel that stopped their nightmares. She was like a dream catcher. You know?
Nice. That's a nice catch there. That's like some fucking like English 501,
Thank you.
literary analysis right there.
I have media literacy because I read books and I didn't watch Andrew Tate.
I have media literacy because I wrote books, which creates that's a different type of media literacy. So,
Dude, random aside, it makes me so sad how I don't know if you've been seeing like all this like all the commentary on how like Gen Z is kind of like not media literate and not they don't read enough, and it's like, oh no.
I'm over here going like, when the fuck have we ever been like media literate? Like it was literally only like in the past couple generations that like media like normal literacy became even widespread.
That's fair.
Like for most of human history, most people couldn't read. But anyway,
I'll smile at night knowing that I am better than 90% of the population.
Damn.
Because
you ain't even Gen Z, right? You're a
no,
millennial.
I'm a young millennial.
Yeah, and I'm like an old Gen Z, so I can sleep at night knowing that you're better than my peers.
Well, yeah, because there was this kind of assumption that like, oh, the youth are going to continue to be progressive, but apparently there's like kind of a backslide happening where a lot of Gen Z people are like not progressive, and it's like that's kind of making me upset. That's sad.
Yeah.
The internet fucking propaganda be hitting. We like my age bracket. We had like this like perfect, interesting time to grow up with the internet. Where like we still had like real life. Like we had the internet, but it wasn't our entire lives. There was like a computer room that you went to, but now it's like you're on the internet constantly. From the moment
you go there to get jobs, you go there to like apply to school, do homework. You go there to meet people to date with. Like I mean, it's this part isn't. is this another part of life? Like it's not.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's ruining. I think it's I don't know, man. It's so we've talked about third places before. It's just like. It's too much. I saw a really good TikTok that we're officially in the post chapter discussion, by the way. Feel free to head out if you're bored. But I saw this TikTok that really resonated with me that described the internet as like imagine if like cocaine didn't exist in all of history and then one day it just spawned into existence and you dropped it over the whole planet. Like that's essentially the internet is like the new drug, and some people know how to react to an overabundance of information and some people don't, and that is the dichotomy that we get, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's just like there's because like I'm sure I don't know if you and I have talked about this, but
digesting that, but keep going.
Well, I don't know if you and I have talked about this, but this idea that it just feels like nothing matters anymore, like the truth doesn't matter, right? Like
I guess I always one of the most annoying for me, one of the most annoying catchphrases that came out of the post-Trump era was the idea of that we live in a post-truth society, as if we've ever lived in a truth society. Like I mean, I remember in high school learning about yellow journalism and the shit they were saying in the 1900s, just on regular newsprint that was available to like everyone, and they couldn't fact check that. Like, how can you the only way you could call today's version of society a post-truth reality is if you just don't know history, but I don't know.
No, I mean, I guess you're right. I don't. I certainly.
I mean, it's more like it's. It's more like it's not that simple. Like, I mean, obviously, yes, there are differences. There are unique issues to our modern day that can't really be like easily, correlated to past issues. But like, they're usually not so simple as what I guess the layperson.
No, for sure.
Blame.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know how to word this. I guess I just wish that we could at least agree on reality. But you're right. I mean, I guess that was never
it's like we've never. It was. I mean, obviously, it was easier back when there was only like a few,
news
media
sources,
channels,
which of course had its own problems. Where the people who is writing that narrative and yada yada. I know.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll just say to wrap that up. I think at the very least we can agree that like. In the past, before the internet, you kind of had to deal with just like your circle, and now I feel like there's just maybe the human mind can't handle this much information. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I am reminded of a book I read in college. It was like amusing ourselves to death. And the writer, I don't remember his name, but he was talking about how like in the past, you would mostly just be aware of and concerned with the news and troubles of your local area, and so you would be able to, and because that was in your local area, obviously you could do something about that. But then once more like global media started coming and like television news started coming, you could hear about stuff going on in like the other side of the planet or whatever, or even just the other side of your country, where you can't really do anything about that unless you just upturn your life and it started to create this general apathy where it's like, well,
I was just gonna say, I feel like that's led us into apathy, right? Because now I feel like we're just so numb to terrible stuff, and like I don't know, man. Like there's been pros that have come out of the internet, like you and I being able to do these reviews at all, living not halfway, but like a couple states away,
about 6 miles, 6 hours away from
6 miles. It's just we just didn't want to drive to each other's houses.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, no, there's pros and cons, man, but like man, I mean, as the older I get, the more I'm like, fuck, dude, like it's just the internet. It just feels like it's really every generation has its challenges, but it feels like that is this generation's challenge, and it's fucking like breaking people's brains. That's all I'll say. Yeah.
I mean, one thing I will say, I mean, I've been looking into my local what is it called, Democratic Socialist of America chapters, trying to get into local government shit, or helping.
Yeah,
it
feels good because you feel like you're actually making a difference, and that really helps mental health.
Actually participating in local government, because that's something you can actually make meaningful change on, rather than waiting 2 or 4 years to like only to vote. Like, that's not really gonna have much of a, that's too long of a gap between making meaningful action. There are things you can do every day in your local community to actually shape your little slice of the world, and not just
what a
depend
great
on.
lesson. I'm genuinely, not to fucking quote one of the YouTube rewinds, but I am genuinely so proud of this community. Do you remember that meme? Or am I crazy right now?
I can't remember.
There was a YouTube
That's
rewind
specific
where
YouTube
someone was
rewind.
like, "I'm so proud of this community," and it became
But
like
the way you say it, I can kind of imagine the like how people just like what's the reception of that line.
it was just very like it was like lay cringe, you know. It was just like,
yep.
But anyway, I genuinely am really proud of this community, and like the more I'm reading about like Gen Z spaces on the internet and like, you know, the type of content creators that a lot of people unfortunately are watching. I mean, you see the content creators that really do get popular. There are good ones, but there are a lot of bad ones. You know what I mean? Like there's that. If you heard of the streaming site Kick?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, dude, the shit that goes on that website. Allie was watching a video that was like deep diving.
Basically, just fucking like sex trafficking rings are happening over there almost. Like
there's a guy who fucking like he does his own little like Chris Hansen show where he like debates like pedophiles to like I don't know, like, and then they'll show up, and instead of like calling the cops, he'll like
say, "Why don't you have a seat?" But
no, he'll humiliate them. He'll like shave their heads and like spit on their faces and like beat them up and shit, and then just like let them go.
Okay, that might not be that might it's a kind of extreme reaction, but I mean, I'm not gonna.
Because the idea is like, you know, he's like he'll do like, oh hey, you let me shave your head and spit in your face, or I call the cops, and then of course they
call the cops.
Yeah, wait. Of course, call the cops.
That feels a little bit like, I mean, if he does autism and then calls the cops anyway, then yeah, fine. But if he actually lets them go on this fucking like Saw type shit where it's like, I want to play a game with you. It's like that they can still do their heinous shit they're doing now. They're just gonna be pissed.
I don't believe in vigilantism. Just fucking call the damn cops. Anyway, point being, there's a lot of weird shit out there. You know, the Andrew Tates, the shit like that. I'm really, really proud to be a space of positivity, especially in the manga community, because manga is one of those communities that it's a coin flip. You know, there's plenty of right-wing people that are into manga, there's plenty of left-wing people into manga, and I think it's important to be into manga and like not hate women. A novel concept.
I mean, it must be rough for you if you hate women and you're in like, because some of these stories are really like they really like they let their women do things that you don't really see.
These women have such so much dialogue. I just want to see them.
So much agency. What the fuck is this?
But yeah,
it's woke. The wokies got to Japan. Like, what the fuck?
The wokies, yeah. Japan got woke when they raised their age of consent.
Got woke, and say this in like say in Japan they got woke.
Woki. That's crazy.
Oh my lord.
Well, anyway, everyone. This is always going to be a space for you. We accept all here. We love you all.
Well, I mean, unless you like don't. Yeah, I'll say that. Unless you cringe.
Well, I mean, it goes back to I wasn't gonna repeat that because you already covered the tolerance of intolerance or whatever the fuck. Like, we're not gonna do the tolerance paradox. We accept all who are willing to be chill, obviously.
Yeah.
And what was I gonna say? We'll get through this. You know, like it's gonna be scary 4 years. It's gonna be a tough 4 years. We'll get through this. We're still gonna have friends. We're still gonna have things that make us happy and excited, like the weekly 100 Girlfriends chapter.
Yep.
You know, life moves on. Life continues. Keep your head down. Bunker down. Be safe, and we'll be here for you. And genuinely, if any of you want to talk, DM me on Discord. DM Rios on Discord.
I mean, sure.
I mean, well. No, like I don't mean to speak for you, but I'm not saying like we'll respond instantly, but I will certainly try to. You know, at some point at least. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm trying.
Don't feel afraid to DM me. I'm not like the most sociable person. I'm not gonna be like fuck you if you DM me.
Don't feel bad if he doesn't respond to you or me. You know, we're busy. I have like a job and shit, and so does he. But you know, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I know that when the election results came in, I was very scared, and I'm not afraid to admit that I cried a lot that first day.
I was very pissed.
Yeah, I'm more of a baby, and you know, so it helped to talk to friends, and I know some people aren't as lucky as me and don't have as many friends. So I'm just saying, if you feel scared or nervous, you can always talk to us, if in the comments or on our Twitters, or you know, they're out there. You can find them. But yeah, I just want you to know you have a friend in us, a parasocial friend in us.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts for you, Rayos? Rayos?
I mean, I guess this is kind of going back to the chapter, but the plot kind of reminded me of like this trope I've seen where it's like the villains lay out all our heroes and it seems over for them, but then one of the main characters happens to have some like ability or status that makes it partially immune to the effects, so they save the day like that. I mean, it was bring up because I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember where I've seen this from. It's such a vivid like feeling I had that I want to like anyone in comments could can remember. Like I feel like it might be like in a Teen Titans episode or something, but I don't know, like in an anime or cartoon or something like that. But if you can use that vague description to remember whatever it is, please share. But
it kind of makes me think of in Thriller Bark in One Piece. There's a character who has an ability to make anyone super pessimistic and negative. Like they can just shoot a ghost. Like well, they can shoot a ghost through you, and then that ghost, it's called a negative ghost, and it like makes you feel like you'll just instantly get on the ground and be like, I'm a fucking worm. I'd be better off as a worm. I'm a piece of shit.
Are there positive ghosts?
No.
Damn. Yeah. Only negative.
It's an interesting. It's a very weird devil fruit because she has these negative ghosts, and she also can take on the properties of a ghost herself. So she can like leave. She can like astral project out of her body and like leave her body and like float as her like ghost form. But anyway, Usopp though is. It's a beautiful moment for him because he's like she's shooting them at him and he's just like standing strong and she's like, how are you like it's this shit is downing Zoro, it's downing Sanji, it's downing Luffy, and it doesn't down Usopp. And Usopp's
like, joke's on you, I'm always depressed.
Literally exactly the line. Like
really?
Yeah, basically 1 for 1. Like I've seen multiple. I've seen the dub translation, the sub translation, the manga translation. One of them is I'm already incredibly depressed.
Damn.
The manga is I'm already extremely negative. Because the whole arc he's like we're gonna fucking die. So yeah, it's like he's completely immune to it, and only he can fight this girl uniquely because out of everyone in the crew. And one of my favorite parts is, she instantly Perona, the girl who has this power, she's like realizing just how depressed you have to be in order for this power to not work on you. So she's instantly feels bad for him. She's like, oh my god, don't give up. Life's worth living.
Live, you're beautiful.
Yeah, like once again, literally what happens. Oh my god, it's so funny. Anyway, we're in the Yap Zone. Thanks for watching. We'll be back every week. New chapter. Christmas special.
Actually, because of the break week, we're gonna be back.
Week?
Yeah.
What?
We're gonna everyone's gotta recover from that crazy sleep. So we're gonna be back week after this. But yeah. Fuck. So well, like Red said, we got the Christmas special coming up where we're gonna be showing off all the presents we are planning to buy for the 100 or 31 girlfriends,
I'm so excited. Oh, man, we got sleep. I gotta start thinking about sleep girl presents, bro.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Wow. All right. Anyway, yeah, honestly, it works out well that there's not a chapter next weekend because that is our local Comic-Con over here, so I'll be busy doing that all weekend. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe sometime. Oh no, because you work. Okay, so I was gonna say maybe we could throw in a stream during the week sometime, but no, you're working. Yeah. Not this week. It would have been next week. But anyway, blah blah blah. We'll see you for the next review. Yep. Love, peace, chicken grease. Goodbye.
Yeah, what you said.